Did you know that in Japan, it's completely normal to see businessmen asleep on trains, in cafes, and even in meetings? This practice, known as inemuri, isn't just accepted. It's often seen as a sign of hard work and dedication. But why? And what other surprising social norms exist in this unique island nation? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Japan's societal extremes paint a picture of contrasts that's hard to fathom. On one hand, there's a culture of overwork so intense it can be fatal. On the other, a phenomenon of social withdrawal so severe it's recognized as a unique cultural syndrome. What forces in Japanese society could drive people to such opposite extremes? Let's start with the dark side of Japan's famous work ethic. In this country, there's actually a word for death by overwork. It's called karoshi. It's not just a dramatic term, it's a recognized phenomenon that claims hundreds of lives each year. Imagine working over 80 hours a week, pushing yourself to the limit day after day. For many Japanese workers, this isn't imagination, it's reality. The Japanese work culture often promotes a lifelong commitment to a single company. Colleagues are viewed as a second family, and many employees work long hours, sometimes exceeding 12 to 15 hours a day. This extreme dedication has led to serious health issues, including strokes and heart attacks. The prevalence of karoshi has resulted in numerous lawsuits and increased awareness of the dangers of overwork in Japan. But here's where things get really interesting. While some Japanese people are literally working themselves to death, others are doing the exact opposite. They're completely withdrawing from society. This phenomenon is known as hikikomori, and it's estimated that over 700,000 people in Japan live in extreme social isolation. Hikikomori individuals are typically young adults, averaging around 30 years old. They often live with their parents while avoiding communication with the outside world. These cases are frequently linked to childhood trauma or overwhelming family expectations, highlighting the mental health challenges faced by many in Japanese society. Now, you might be wondering, how can a society produce such extreme opposites? On one end, people are working themselves to death, and on the other, they're completely shutting themselves away from the world. It's a paradox that reveals the intense pressures within Japanese culture. The roots of these phenomena can be traced back to Japan's cultural values and societal expectations. The emphasis on hard work, dedication, and success can drive some to push themselves to unhealthy limits in their careers. At the same time, the pressure to conform and meet high standards can be overwhelming for others, leading them to retreat from society entirely. Understanding these extremes helps us appreciate the complex pressures within Japanese society and how they shape unique cultural norms. It's a stark reminder that even in a country known for its technological advancements and rich traditions, there are deep-seated issues that affect the lives of many. Welcome to a country where taking a nap at work might actually be seen as a sign of dedication. Yes, you heard that right. In Japan, many unexpected social norms challenge our conventional understanding of polite behavior. Let's explore some of these fascinating customs that make Japan truly unique. Imagine you're on a crowded train in Tokyo. You look around and notice several passengers fast asleep. In many countries, this might be considered rude or even unsafe, but in Japan, it's a common sight. This practice, known as inemuri, is socially acceptable and often viewed favorably. It's not just limited to public transport. You might even see people napping during work hours. Surprisingly, this behavior is often interpreted as a sign of hard work and dedication. It's as if the person has worked so diligently that they simply couldn't stay awake. Now, let's talk about dining etiquette. If you find yourself in a Japanese restaurant, don't be surprised if you hear loud slurping noises from nearby tables. In Japan, slurping noodles or soup isn't just acceptable, it's encouraged. This practice is seen as a compliment to the chef and is believed to enhance the flavors of the dish. So, the next time you're enjoying a bowl of ramen in Japan, feel free to slurp away. Your chef will appreciate it. Japanese customs extend beyond public behavior and into the home. When visiting someone's house in Japan, you'll quickly notice one important rule: shoes off at the door. This deeply ingrained practice shows respect for the living space and helps maintain cleanliness. Don't worry about cold feet though. Guests are often offered slippers to wear indoors. Speaking of cleanliness, Japan takes waste management to a whole new level. The country has a complex waste sorting system that requires residents to categorize their trash meticulously. different types of waste must be disposed of on specific days. While it might seem overwhelming at first, this system reflects Japan's strong emphasis on environmental responsibility. Let's shift gears and talk about a custom that might surprise many Westerners. Valentine's Day in Japan. Here's where things get interesting. On February 14th, it's customary for women to give chocolates to men, including colleagues and friends. This practice, known as giri choko, emphasizes social obligations and relationships rather than romantic love. But don't worry guys, your turn comes a month later on White Day, March 14th. On this day, men are expected to reciprocate by giving gifts to women, typically valued at 3 times the amount of the gifts received on Valentine's Day. Japan's commitment to tradition and social norms runs deep, but it manifests in unexpected ways. Imagine a country where crime bosses have business cards and homeless people prefer scavenging to begging. Welcome to Japan, where honor and dignity shape behavior in ways you might not expect. In Japan, the Yakuza, or organized crime syndicates, operate with a level of openness that seems almost surreal. Unlike their counterparts in other countries, these groups are involved in various legal businesses, including debt collection and protection services for entertainment districts. It's not uncommon for Yakuza organizations to have registered offices and even organizational charts. This bizarre blend of legality and criminality is a prime example of Japan's ability to accommodate seemingly contradictory elements within its society. But the surprises don't stop there. While many countries struggle with visible homelessness and street begging, Japan presents a starkly different picture. Homeless individuals in Japan rarely beg on the streets. Instead, they often resort to recycling or scavenging for food. This behavior stems from a deeply ingrained cultural belief in maintaining self-respect, rooted in the samurai spirit that emphasizes honor and dignity. For many homeless people in Japan, the idea of degrading themselves for a meal is simply unthinkable. These contrasting realities highlight the complex interplay between tradition and modernity in Japanese society. On one hand, you have a country that's renowned for its technological advancements. Japan boasts an impressive ratio of one vending machine for every 24 people, offering everything from hot meals to umbrellas at the push of a button. Yet, alongside this convenience culture, traditional customs emphasizing respect and honor continue to shape daily life in profound ways. Perhaps one of the most striking examples of Japan's ability to blend old and new is the existence of Kongo Gumi, the world's oldest company. Established in 578 AD, this venerable institution specialized in building temples and shrines for over 1,400 years. The fact that a company with roots predating the medieval period could survive and thrive in one of the world's most technologically advanced societies is a testament to Japan's unique cultural landscape. These paradoxes demonstrate Japan's remarkable ability to maintain a delicate balance between tradition and progress. The country's society has found ways to incorporate ancient values into modern life, resulting in a culture that can seem both familiar and utterly foreign to outsiders. The legal operation of organized crime groups, alongside a strong emphasis on personal honor, the coexistence of high-tech conveniences with centuries-old businesses. These contrasts paint a picture of a nation that defies easy categorization. Understanding these paradoxes offers valuable insights into the complexities of Japanese culture. It reveals a society that values order and stability, yet allows for unexpected deviations from the norm. It shows how deeply ingrained cultural values can shape behavior in ways that might seem counterintuitive to outsiders. And it demonstrates how a nation can embrace technological advancement without abandoning its traditional roots.